Good day and welcome to EMTV. An occupation of Sanders building by OccupyEUR on Monday ended in police clearing the building and arresting 10 activists. Here with me is Charlie, psychology student and spokesperson of the OccupyEUR. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you.
And before we talk about what happened, let's see what the occupation looked like in the afternoon. Why are you here?
I am here because I'm really angry about what's happening right now.
We won't take no compromise. Stop the lies and cut the fight.
It's really bad. I don't know how many more forests have to burn, how many more cities have to be flooded before all of us here at this university can agree that it's bad.
Who are you and what are your demands?
We are a youth-led radical collective, so it's people from all around, also professors. And we've come together because we want to make clear to the university that this is no longer the way to go. We can no longer work together with fossil fuel industries because they're destroying our world.
There are less than 10 years to turn this around. So what the hell is the university actually doing here?
What are the demands?
So we have 4 demands. The first one is to end all fossil ties. Then the second one is about precarization of staff. We also want to ask Erasmus University to pressure the national government to like erase all student debt, so that no one will have student debt anymore, and to raise the basisbeurs. And then finally, we want to make the campus accessible.
Why should students care about this issue?
Students should care about this because it is about them. I'm right now 18 years old. When I will like not even have had my 50th birthday, I might not even be able to live in my own city because it will be underwater.
I'm really happy this is happening because I feel also like a lot of students that I see are also really against or like saying, oh, why are you here? It's just like you're just disrupting the education or whatever. But like it's actually so much more important than that because education cannot go on if we don't have a world to live in 20 years.
Worldwide, there is a resurgence of the thinking we unfolded a few years back.
To be realistic, I don't think they're going to do anything.
We will reach our goal, and if not, then we have tried everything we could. I believe that we won't stop until we reach it.
So, Charlie, can you tell us how come such a protest turned into police action?
Well, we were actually very surprised about this because we were just eating our food. We had some volunteers who cooked us some anti-waste soup. And then the executive board, or the spokesperson at least, entered the building and asked me, first told me that they were not joining our People's Assembly that we would have after the dinner, and that we had to leave the building. And I was like, okay, I'm only the spokesperson, so I have to discuss this internally. So they were like, okay, sure, you can discuss this, which I then did, but within 2 minutes, the security personnel started asking everyone to leave, so I didn't even have the opportunity to...
Okay, this is the security personnel of the university, or...?
Yes.
Okay.
But I have to be clear that the police was already surrounding us by that time, even before the warning.
Yeah, because the police said that there were indications of an unsafe situation. Did you see that during the occupation?
If eating soup means unsafe situation, then sure, but otherwise there was no unsafe situation.
You're sure about that? No unsafe situation? No people from outside the Erasmus University, for example?
None of our people were, or like people from other universities were planning to join us that we were aware of. We checked this also afterwards, and they were very surprised to hear this because they were not on their way, they were not planning to come. Okay,
so that people would join from Amsterdam or other cities, that's all not true?
No, it's not true. I mean, they're like are in solidarity with us, like in their minds, but they were not planning to come physically.
Okay, and the executive board said a few times that they wanted to have a dialogue with you.
Yes.
But in the end they didn't.
No.
What did they say to you about this?
Well, they said that they couldn't come because of organizational reasons, but then did not tell us what these reasons were. So we were quite confused about this because they had promised at 11 or 11:30 in the morning that they would come, and also confirmed this afterwards. So we were very surprised they were not coming anymore and also very disappointed.
Okay, so actually they have promised you to come around 6, around 5, did you know?
6:30, yeah.
Okay, but it didn't happen.
No.
And according to the executive board as well, you were asked 2 times by university officials to leave before the police was instructed to clear the building. How did this happen according to you?
Well, nothing really happened before the police had already entered the building. So they were already inside, already surrounded us. The police were already standing at the exit with their riot gear on. This was the riot police. And then the security personnel came and only asked us once, in Dutch at first, even though we have a lot of international students. So we asked them to repeat it in English. But for so far that we all know and noticed, they only asked us once the police was already there.
But how was the atmosphere at the building at that moment?
Well, first it was just a lot of fun. We were eating dinner, and then once the police came in, it all got very tense because we were scared of whatever they were going to do. We were unsure about the situation because we had not expected it.
Okay. And we also talked to several people who joined the occupation. Most of them are angry still, and is this also the general emotions among your members?
I think disappointed and sad is a better description, but there's also a lot of confusion why they didn't come to speak with us in the end, and that also might evoke some anger, yes, because we had really expected them to talk with us, so we just don't understand what happened.
Yeah, and there were 10 people arrested Monday evening. Can you tell us a little about them, or what they have been?
Yeah, I can tell a little bit about the process. So once there were police inside, we talked to all of our fellow occupants to either leave if they wanted to, or to stay if they were willing to be arrested. So most of the people left very peacefully, and some peacefully sat down on the ground in a circle. And these people are all EUR students. That's, I think, very important to know that these were not random people, or how other people would like to call them, as like what do you call it?
The outsiders, the professional activists.
Professional activists. We were nothing like that. We were all EUR students. And once the arresting began, they all went floppy. So it is passive resistance. They did not resist, like
being dragged.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't force anything,
Okay.
you know. So they were just picked up and dragged out. I also have to say that police wasn't too gentle with most of them. One of them specifically couldn't breathe because his jacket was pulled up to his chin. And he tried to get himself into a position where he could breathe, but the police saw this as active resistance and then grabbed him by the nose and dragged him away. And that's quite traumatizing, and we don't understand this because we were very peaceful.
Okay, so there were 10 people, and all of them are EUR
Yes.
students. You can confirm that.
Yes, correct.
And they were released
Yeah.
in the evening?
They were released all at different times because some people didn't have their IDs, for example. This is a way to protect your identity. But in the end, everyone was released, and we all picked them up and went home safely.
Okay, yeah. Wow. And what is the plan right now?
The plan right now is to occupy until our demands are met.
But no conversation with the executive board?
There will be a conversation, but only if it's on our terms. So we're not going to go sit with them at the table with like 3 representatives of our organization and with the executive board, because that will be a very hierarchical and conversation which is not fair at all. We find it very important to have this conversation in a horizontal and democratic space.
And how do you do that?
Well, that means having a conversation with everyone who is involved and giving everyone a chance to speak and to say what they care about, and for the board to listen to us in the first place.
Okay, so an open discussion for all of
Exactly.
the EUR community?
Exactly. That's actually what we planned to do yesterday, but then sadly they didn't show up.
So Charlie, thank you very much for coming here, and good luck with changing the university for the better.
You.
Please keep us updated. And if you want to stay updated as well, please go to erasmusmagazine.nl. We will see you again in 2 weeks.